Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica. If you're new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you. I'd love if you hit the subscribe button before going and give it a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get started. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking all about a brand new foundation. I'm so excited to share it with you and all the claims that it has. I will go over the pros and cons. I have been wearing it for about 2 weeks and I've tried it many different ways, so I can give you some tips and tricks along the way. I already have all of my eye makeup and my brows done, so if you're curious what I'm wearing, I will link that all down below. So let's go ahead and get started. This foundation is the Stay Naked by Urban Decay. I have it in the shade 20NN, which is the neutral fair shade. It claims to be 24 hours a weightless foundation that gives full coverage, and I will tell you right now, I am not a full coverage kind of gal. I like my makeup to look natural. I like it to be like a light to medium at most. So I was really curious because they said that this is supposed to mimic skin but be full coverage. So of course I had to try it. The bottle is super, super pretty and sleek. It's like this rose kind of gold cap, and then it's a pump, which is also very nice. It claims that it's supposed to be waterproof and sweat proof and lasts for 24 hours if I didn't already say that. So right off the bat, this foundation is beautiful. Anyone who likes like a semi-matte finish would love this foundation. It does look very skin-like. However, I'm going to show you what one of the cons is. If you happen to be fair tone or any pink undertones like I am, there is sadly a con to this foundation. So let's go ahead and I'll show you. On one side of my face, I'm going to use my new favorite foundation brush by It Cosmetics. And on the other side, I'm going to use my dampened Real Technique sponge. So I'm going to just go ahead and pump it out into my hand. So far I've been using about 2 pumps. And I'm just going to go ahead and dab my brush right into it and then start in my cheeks and swirl. As you can see, it has a good deal of pigment and it starts covering immediately. So I'm just going to do swirling motions to make it look as natural as possible. I generally tend to lean towards either finger or sponge applications on foundations, just because I don't really like a really, really full coverage foundation, which is what this claims to be. So here is just using that one pump that I did and swirling it all over on just one side of my face with the brush. It gives a pretty high coverage. I don't know what you guys think down below. To me, it is definitely medium to full coverage. It is definitely more full coverage looking with a brush. So if you want something that is full coverage, I would definitely use the brush for it. If you look, I don't really see any discoloration on my skin or any redness, or even the breakouts down here seem to be like completely gone. But I don't know if you can notice. I would love for you to comment down below and let me know, but do you see the con? The con is I have pink undertones and this foundation leans yellow. Now, I know that other YouTubers that I've watched that have reviewed this have said that they felt that it oxidized. This does not oxidize, at least it hasn't on me. What's wrong is the undertone. So this undertone is it leans very yellow. It doesn't have any of a pink undertone, so it looks a little strange to me on my skin compared to everything else because of the yellow undertone, which is a con, unfortunately, if you have fair skin or if you lean pink, cool toned at all. Something else that I noticed, before I did this video, because I love the foundation so much, it is so beautiful. I mean, if you look at my skin, I just absolutely love the way it looks. I will tell you that I've worn this all day long, and from like 6 o'clock in the morning until about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Sorry about my hair. And it looks beautiful. It looks skin-like. It doesn't look like you're wearing a lot of foundation, even though it covers really, really well. However, the problem that I found was when I went to Ulta, they didn't have any that lean in the pink shades. So I was hoping to go get another color for you, so when I did this video that I would have the perfect match, but I can't find it for my skin tone. So sadly, that is a huge con for me because when I tested all their colors, all the neutrals were yellow based, and all their cool tones were, instead of pink, they were orangey. So they did not match my skin tone at all, which I'm really bummed about. So on the other side, I did another squirt, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my sponge. I personally, when I've been wearing this for the last 2 weeks, have been using my sponge to put it on because it still gives a medium coverage, which is fine with me because I don't really like a really, really high coverage. So using a sponge does a great job of giving a medium coverage. If you want full coverage and you want that sponge-like finish, I would go ahead and just apply it with your brush first and then go over it with a sponge. You can build this up. I did try doing that and it did not get cakey. You could not tell that I put more product on throughout the day if I built it up. So that's also a nice pro to this foundation, is you can build it up and it still does not look makeup-y. So here it is on both sides. This side has the brush. This side has a sponge. I'm curious if you tell me down in the comments down below which side you like better. Like this one obviously is full coverage, so you really don't see anything through it with the brush. This side is more medium coverage, but it's more of what I personally prefer. But as you can tell, it does lean yellow toned. So maybe I could warm it up with some bronzer or something. But unfortunately, there is no tone that has any pink undertones in it. So if you lean yellow tone, you would love this foundation. I highly recommend it. It's absolutely gorgeous. But the tones are just not right for anyone that's fair skin and or having pink undertones. But it is like a true kind of like a demi matte. It's not like a complete matte. It doesn't look drying or anything like that on the skin. I didn't really notice it settling into fine lines throughout the day. It's just beautiful. And I really, really wish or hope that they come out with shades or fix the undertone because neutral is not usually this yellow based. And their cool tones are not usually an orange color. They're normally more pinkish. So I'm kind of bummed at the tones, but it's so pretty. It's so, so pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, another thing I learned. I personally usually set my foundations with some type of loose powder, just very lightly dusted over. This foundation, I would not do that with. I did try it, and it did look cake-like. It did not sit as pretty during the day. So then the next day I wore it without any powder and it was beautiful. When it wore throughout the day, it would get like a little glowy, like almost like that natural like lit within look, but not like super sweaty or wet looking or anything like that. It just wore beautifully and it stayed on my skin even without setting it for the day. And like I said, I put it on about 6 in the morning and then I take it off around 11 o'clock at night. So that's a pretty good wear. My favorite powder that I'm using right now is for my blush, which is Bare Minerals in Vintage Peach, my absolute favorite color. The products blend in very well over this foundation. I don't have any problems. I don't, like I said, don't have to set it at all to put anything else on. So that's nice as well. And then I'm gonna go ahead, take my hair out, and end off my look. If you have not tried these NYX Butter Glosses, you have to. They are phenomenal. I love the color payoff. This one is in the shade Vanilla Cream Pie. I just love these lip glosses. They're not sticky, but they have a lot of color. They're like a nice alternative to wearing a lipstick because I'm not really a huge fan of lipstick because it tends to be more drying on my lips. I'm more of a lipstick person or lip gloss person. But the colors, I have a couple of shades, is absolutely beautiful. Non-sticky, love it. So this is the final look. Like, I really wish that this didn't lean so yellow. I mean, if you have ever had a foundation that is not the right tone for your skin, what kind of things did you do to make it look more like your skin? I mean, like I said, I'm guessing I could maybe use some bronzer, but that's not really gonna fix the undertone. I mean, it will give me more warmth to my skin and kind of match the tan that I have right now going on. What I have of a tan, I don't tan very well. But I can't fix the undertone. So when it comes to be winter and I don't have this tan, I'm gonna have like a yellowish color face. Like, I'm not quite sure like it's going to work for me, but it's so, so pretty. So I'm just curious, is there anything that you do that kind of helps if an undertone doesn't match? I mean, I know you can make foundations lighter, you can make them darker, but the undertone, you can't really take away the yellow. Unless like you neutralize it with something like maybe, I don't know. But it's just so, so pretty. Like if you bought this foundation and you have a yellowish undertone, you're probably going to absolutely love it. It just looks gorgeous. It gives beautiful coverage. I highly recommend it. If it matches your skin tone and you can find it in your shade. Like I said, I did not have a problem with it oxidizing or changing colors. It's just the undertone is not correct on it. So I'm kind of bummed about that. My hair is doing something really crazy right now. Okay, so that's my final review on this product. It's a beautiful, beautiful foundation. And like I said, if you can find a range that suits your undertone, I would highly recommend you checking it out because it just wears beautifully throughout the day. So I thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your comments down below if you have any suggestions or tips. And if you have tried the foundation, if you've also found the undertone to be off on you. But like I said, you know, anyone who has like a yellowish undertone, you have to try this. It's gorgeous. So I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.